Brand new to Access 2010 is the ability to create a web database. That is, you create your database in Access and publish it to the web. This way your database, including any data, forms, even reports, can be opened via a web browser. So now it's very easy to share your databases with coworkers and friends right over the web. Let's start by exploring this with a standard database. If you've got the exercise files and you want to follow along with me, open up Customer Orders 1. This is a standard database with tables, forms, and reports. And if you wanted to share this over the web, you could go to Backstage View by clicking the File tab, go down to Share, and click Publish to Access Services. Now, one very important point is if you do want to create a web database, you have to have Microsoft SharePoint Server 2010 installed and ready to use. Otherwise, you're not publishing and sharing any web databases. But keep in mind, this is a standard database that we're going to try to publish to an Access service. The first step might be to check compatibility. When we click Run Compatibility Checker, you can see what happens. This red bar appears. And down below a message, the database is incompatible with the web. And we can check which issues are causing this by clicking the Web Compatibility Issues button. Well, I already know that it's because it's a standard database. We didn't actually create a web database. That requires a different set of steps. So let's check it out now. Again, still in Backstage View here with the File tab selected. We're going to go down to New. And here's where you notice the new icon for creating a blank web database, not just a blank database. So we select this button. We still go down to the file name field, click once to type in the name of our database. Let's say we're creating a product catalog. We would type that in for the file name. And then click Create. Now everything's the same as creating a standard database, but it's going to be compatible for the web or with the web when it's done. So notice we're creating our first table here, ready to add new fields and add data to our table. We create our forms. We would then continue creating reports if we wanted them. And then with Microsoft SharePoint Server ready to use, we would go to Backstage View by clicking the File tab, go down to Share, click Publish to Access Services. If we were to run the compatibility checker, everything would work fine because we've created a web database. All we need is the server URL entered here in the Publish to Access Services section, as well as the site name. Once we enter that information, you'll notice the Publish to Access Services button available. You give it a click and you're sharing your database over the web.